An overwhelming sea of red. First, you hear it. Then, you feel it. You know it's game day. Wisconsin versus Austin Peay. Get your tickets now.
Welcome back to UWBadgers.com. I'm Patrick Herb here in Camp Randall Stadium. Well, Thursday was the final full practice before Saturday's matchup against Arizona State. In 13 non-conference home games, head coach Bret Bielema is a perfect 13-0, outscoring opponents by an average of 19 points per game. We heard from Coach Bielema after Thursday's practice.
You know, from an injury standpoint, David Gilreath won't go, Nick Toon won't go. And, as far as all the defensive guys, Taylor, Moreland, Blake Sorensen, everybody practiced all this week. So that's really the big two guys on offense. I like the way the guys have practiced all week. They've been looking forward, I think, to get through these first two games the way we played. I'm excited to get to Camp Randall, and I know we were there last week, but this is a game that we need everybody with us in the stands, on the sideline, and I'm excited to get Camp Randall. I know a 2:30 start is always popular with our fans for sure, so hopefully it'll be something that turns out the right way.
With the wide receiver situation, do you think we'll take the red shirt off Garner this week?
Manessa's been right there every game to where we've been. If you guys remember, we didn't use Monty Ball until game 4 last year, and what we don't want to do with a young player, and this has kind of been our staff philosophy, is put someone in there that's not ready. And Manessa has been right there, but it's been tough to get him into those games. But because of the reps, even going back to last week, he's practiced a lot more, and we'll probably see him in action this week.
Wagner at right tackle?
Ricky will start at right tackle. Josh actually is very close to being able to play. He kind of surprised us and was mixed in there a little bit Tuesday. Yesterday he did everything but practice. I mean, he did all the individual stuff, and today he did some of the team. So if he doesn't play Saturday, he should be back to full go next week.
A couple of the players were saying the crowd could be a factor because of the offense they run and communication they rely on. Do you agree with that sentiment?
It's probably amazing where they get that information. Yeah. The Camp Randall, we've got an unbelievable record here over the last 5 years. 5 years now as a head coach, but I think it's whatever it is, whatever and 4. What is it, Brian? 37 and 4, which is like 4th or 5th in the country. And obviously, I think we have a lot to do with it on the field. But Camp Randall and the energy that it brings is like a whole nother level when it's rocking and when it's going. And student section with a 2:30 should be there as well. So if you guys want to print that in the student newspapers, would be a bonus.
Do you anticipate you probably won't get a look at Bud Meyer until next week, probably?
Well, we've been, trying to get him in the game. He's had the green light ever since, we took the field the first snap to where we are, just the way the first 2 games have gone. But yeah, we would love to get, John in the mix, but, right now he's a secondary plan.
What do you remember most about Stephen Threed in that Michigan game a couple of years ago?
Remember the long run. I remember, that whole day very well. Reminded our guys of it of Sunday, and it's a different team for him, but you see a lot of the same characteristics. He's grown. As a player, you can see he's physically grown. He's a lot bigger and tough to bring down.
Arizona State's had a really good run defense in the last couple of seasons. Is any of that a byproduct of the conference? Is it pretty legit run defense?
Well, they're very talented. Their defensive line and their group of linebackers is probably as good for sure that we've seen to this point, but also one of the better ones we'll see. And in the back end, both their corners are exceptional. The safeties that play are good players. So defensively, they're going to be a very, very difficult challenge because they are so talented.
A lot of man-to-man. Is that challenging?
There is, but there's a lot of, they play quarter coverage. They'll play some 3. They'll play different. It's a lot of different things, but it's not all just pressure and man. I mean, they line up and play. We used, obviously, certain games. We're very similar to what Stanford runs. It's a couple other teams. Paul, with his Oregon State background, we're on a lot of the same pass concepts. So it's been good film for our offensive guys.
You guys have been running the Badger package, obviously, a lot on 3rd down. Is there any difficulty bringing that in when a team goes no huddle?
When they go no huddle, it's going to be, depending on where we are on the field, it can really get down to is someone able to sub in and get out to that, that area where they need to be. So, you may be able to use that on 1st down as well, just because of the way the flow of the game is.
Do you have a feel for the confidence level of your DBs going into this game?
Confidence level? I think they're playing good football. What we can't do is have breakdowns. I mean, that's one thing Arizona State, they've had 15 scoring drives. I think I said that in the Monday presser, and 13 of them come under 3 minutes, which means they get on a roll and go. And what we have to do is, if there is a negative play, is react. And they've done that pretty good to this point. They've given up those 2 quick red zone scores, but other than that, they've been pretty solid.
Just to be clear, you're saying you could maybe use the 3-3-5 on first down, just bring it out there right away in certain
Yeah,
situations?
I mean, we've played the Badger package, depending on the game situation. But, it's a little bit based off personnel, too, whether Chris can be in there. It was a huge factor last week because we just thought we were better staying base. But now with Chris in the lineup, it's a little bit different story.
Offensively, have the guys been looking crisp in the red zone this week?
Question. Yeah, it's been a point of emphasis. And, the point that I made to our guys on Sunday, it's not like you're going to 3 and out and stalling. You're just not getting points because you haven't been able to finish. And that's been a main emphasis for everybody on our football team.
Last week, Nagy and Zeitler both played our
Played,
right guard. Is that
kind of same plan now until one of them kind of takes over that position. Kind of just split the reps equally all during practice. And the one thing that would happen if anything ever happened at left guard, we'd move Billy over and Zeit pop in there right away. So that's why Ryan's playing so much at fullback, is just because he's not going to see the field unless there's something unsignificant happens there.
who starts tomorrow? Saturday.
Billy.
How much going to help was DB's confidence if Borland is back to where he was last
I think
year?
if you're any guy that's involved in coverage, 44 is rushing, you feel better about your coverage. So I know that's been a huge thing that we've kind of preached, is everybody, when you're talking about pass defense, looks at DBs and what they've given up, but there's a thing called rush that really determines what kind of success a quarterback can have throwing. Now, Arizona State throws the ball very quickly. They get rid of the ball now, and they kind of take the rush element out of it in certain schemes.
Hope to see you here at Camp Randall Stadium on Saturday to see the game against Arizona State. If you can't be here in person, catch it on ABC at 2:30 p.m. and visit UWBadgers.com for all the post-game coverage. Thanks for watching.